Hey, what's going on guys? My name's Jake Newby. Welcome back to another tutorial, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to use the graph editor within Adobe After Effects to get custom keyframe movements. Let's check it out. So if we jump into After Effects here, you can see I have a composition open with just some simple text here in the center. But really quick, I do just want to mention, if you don't know what keyframes are or how they work, make sure to check out the video I made explaining what they are, and I'll link that video down in the description, so make sure to go check that out. Okay, so now that that's taken care of, let's jump into it. And so like I said, we do have this text layer in the middle of our composition, but if we scrub through here, you can see that we actually have this movement of the text coming from the bottom of the screen to the center. But as you can tell with this movement, it looks just super plain and kind of boring and a little bit robotic. It's just going from one point to another. So what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna add life to this by using the graph editor. So if I just select my text layer here and hit U on the keyboard, I'll highlight my keyframes here and then just come over to this box icon here and select graph editor. And so now two lines have popped up. We have a red line here and a green line. This red line here is representing the x-axis, and this green line here is representing the y-axis. So very quickly, if I just scrub through here, you can see as I drag the playhead over the two lines, the green line goes down and the red line stays at a horizontal level. The reason for that is because we're just making the movement on the y-axis, okay? It's not moving from left to right, so the x-axis is not changing at all. The only thing that is changing is the keyframes from the y-axis. So we have a beginning keyframe here, and then down here we have an end keyframe here. All of this diagonal line here is all just movement on the y-axis. And so to bring life to this movement, what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the arc of this y-axis here. So in order to change that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna select this keyframe here, the end keyframe. Then you'll see a number of boxes just popped up. We're gonna come over here to this one, which is the easy ease, and select that. And you can see an arc was kind of generated here, and I'll just play that through to show you what it does. Basically, all that's going on here is we're just smoothing the motion into the last keyframe, as you can see. So if we just undo that, hit Control Z, make sure this end keyframe is selected, and then we'll just come over here to easy ease in. And again, same thing, we're just kind of moving into the end keyframe in more of a smoother way. We're making the transition between the beginning and the end a little bit softer. So we'll just hit Control Z again, undo that, and we're back to this linear look here. And then we'll actually come up here and just select this beginning keyframe, and we'll come over to this last icon, which is easy ease out. So now we're getting the same effect, except for in the beginning it's gonna be slower, and then it's gonna ramp up to a more abrupt ending on the last keyframe. So you can see it starts a little slow and then it kind of shoots up. So I'll just hit Control Z again. And so that's pretty much it. If you want to keep it simple with basic keyframes, then that's really all you have to do. And it adds a little bit more flavor to the movement. But personally, I like to have a little bit more creative control with my keyframes. So what I'll do is I'll actually come down here to this button. This is your separate dimensions button, and I'll click on that. And now what you'll see is when I grab one of these keyframes, I'll grab the end keyframe, you see this little dot appear right here. So what this is gonna allow me to do is it's gonna allow me to click and drag the motion, the arc, however I wanna drag it. So let's say I wanna drag this straight back. Now we'll have a little bit different of a look. It's fast in the beginning, and then it goes slow into the ramping of the last keyframe. And so again, we can try the same thing, but this time let's move it up here. And you can see it pauses and then jumps up. Pauses and then jumps up. And so if we want to adjust this one, if we want to adjust the beginning keyframe, we'll just click on it, and then we'll go over here to easy ease out and click on that. And now we have this button to control this side as well. So if I drag that straight down, now you'll see, boom, jumps up, pauses, and jumps back up again. So what we'll do is we'll just grab this dot here and we'll pull it all the way to the end here, and we'll see what that makes. And not bad. You can see it just jumps up really fast and then very slowly at the end just kind of goes to its correct position. But let's say for this example, we don't want that to jump up so fast. We want that transition to be a little bit more gradual. What we'll do is we'll come, remember we have our top keyframe here. We'll just follow the line down and its dot is hiding right here. And so what we'll do is we'll just bring that up a little bit and you can see I'm making the curve a little bit smoother. And so now you can see it just jumps up a little bit more smooth. And so I'll play a before and after with adjusting the arc and not adjusting the arc. So the last thing we'll do is we'll just come over here to these circles and we'll click on that. And then we'll come over here and you see where these circles are here. We'll just check the box underneath. Now, if you guys are seeing this instead, if you're seeing this view instead, you can't figure out how to find those circles, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna come down and you'll see this button that says toggle switches and modes. You click on that and boom, it pops up for you. It just switches between the two. And so what we did is we just turned on motion blur for the composition, and as you can see in here, you can tell that it just looks a little bit more blurry. It's moving with what the actual eye would see, not so robotic. You're not gonna see every little individual move. You're seeing it kind of as a blur. And so it's a very subtle change, but if you guys apply this to larger scale projects, it can actually be very, very beneficial. So play around with these and figure out what kind of movements looks best. And keep in mind, the graph editor doesn't just apply to position either. You can apply it to almost anything in After Effects that allows you to create keyframes. So let's say I use this same concept to a scale and a position layer, and I could achieve a more creative movement that looks like this. And that's just one of the many different possible movements that you can create. It's almost limitless, guys. So mess around with the graph editor, get creative, and in no time you'll be able to master the looks that you're trying to achieve with your keyframes. So that's pretty much gonna wrap things up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know down below, and we will see you all in the next video.